So hello everyone. This is a particular video is made for teach you to let you know that how a course file can be created. So for each class that we take, for each subject that we take, we need to create a course file. Correct? That's the requirement of NBA, and it's in the criterion 2. Each subject that has been taken for an appearing and applying department, that is the program, should supposed to provide course files. We will see that first. What are the checklist we have for the course file? So I'm opening the checklist over here. So as you can see that there is a checklist for each course file. We should supposed to have this CF forms. CF stands for checklist. Okay, check course file. CF, that is the course file checklist number 01. So we have all these files that has to be ready for each and every course that has been taken. Okay, so whichever the courses has been taken by any particular faculty member, the faculty member has to make the course file ready with them. So what is that? Here we can see that the first one is CF01, that is the department vision mission along with the PEOs, that is the program educational objectives, and PSOs, program specific outcomes. It should supposed to be there in a single sheet. So this particular file you will get from the department, you don't need to create it. With the PEOs and PSOs, it will be given to you. This should be the front page. Next thing is, okay, I'll show it to you one by one. This is the CF1 here. So this is the CF1. Okay, this is the CF1, as you can see over here. So we have written the vision of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, mission of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and program educational objective of a particular. This is for the artificial intelligence. This is the name of the program is artificial intelligence. So we have these PEOs. These four are the PEOs and these two are the PSOs. What is PEOs and PSOs, that we can teach you in some other video. So these are the things that they're for this artificial intelligence, and it should supposed to be in the first, that is the CF1. It should be in the front page of the course file. Next thing is that CF02, that should be the index sheet. So that should be the index here. If you're having this index here, so this the index will tell that course file belongs to which particular subject. Okay, for which particular batch. There's 2018 to 22, that is the batch has taken the admission in 2018, and it will go out in 2022. Yes, and as it is the academic year 2020-21, it means that the academic year is started on August 2020 and it will end on the next year of 2021. There is a course code, that is the code of the course, and this is the name of the faculty member who has taken the course. So you can change each and everything according to your no, requirement. Okay. Maybe 2020 also. Okay. Anything it is required. Sorry, 20. So this is what the index sheet is. Now it's a very important thing to paste there the syllabus copy. You have three subdivisions: 3.1, 3.2. So 3.1 for uh, you know syllabus copy of the theory subject, and 3.2 is for the lab subject, and 3.3 is for those subject which is having special LTP, like suppose 202 model, 202 model. That is, theory is having 200 model and the lab is having 002 model. That will be 202 model. So this is a very rare case actually. CF 3.3. We'll focus on CF 3.1 and 3.2. So here in 3.1, we'll show you we can provide TLEP. TLEP files we can provide for theory, and TLEP for lab as a 3.2, and theory for 3.1. We'll show you what is 3.1. So this is the CF 3.1 I have opened. This is the teaching, learning and evaluation plan, TLEP. Teaching, learning and evaluation plan. So we have created in our department, in our program, TLEP, that is the teaching, learning and evaluation plan for the theory. So we have provided the all course related information, course code, course title, and this unit is it takes 3 units of classes. Contact hours is 45. For each unit this is minimum 15 hours of the contact hour is equal. So here it is 45 for 3 credit subject. LTP is 300. This lecture will be 3 per week, 3 hour per week. Okay. Yes, no practical, 0. Yes, then we have the weightage is 30 is to 70, that is 30 for the internal assessment marks and 70 will be the external assessment marks. Pass marks is 40%, 0 and 40%. For internal pass marks is 0, and the for external the pass marks is 40%. Aggregate pass mark is 40% for this subject. So this will be given by the department, or who will provide you that thing. They will give it to you. Okay. So the subject name you have to change as per your name. Okay, because the subject may be taken by more than one faculty member. Okay, so you might need to change it. You can change it accordingly. Now we have the question mark, that is the there is the university examination UE. Their question marks, that is the maximum marks is 70 that we are specifying. Is there any special examination fee? Not applicable. Any prerequisite for learning this subject? Not applicable. You can write down prerequisite over here. Suppose the subject is object-oriented programming using Java, right? For this subject, we need the basic programming skills. So you can write down basic programming knowledge as a prerequisite for learning this subject. Now here we are defining the program outcomes. These program outcomes are coming from the Washington Accord, and it has been taken by NBA in India, the National Board of Accreditation, is a autonomous body under Human Resource Development, the Ministry of HRD. So they have defined these program outcomes. So these program outcomes are fixed. You cannot change it. Okay, so these are the program outcome which are fixed by the NBA, and you should supposed to go through that. Similarly, for PSOs, we have these two values over here: program specific outcomes. Okay, yes, and these PSOs can be changeable by the department. Yes. So now we can see that is there now you have to keep on backtracking sometimes. So here you should supposed to see, okay, everything is fine. Now go to back. You can see that is this matching this PSO? No. You see this here and here these two PSOs are different. Why? Because you might have copied the format from some other department. In that case, always you have to copy and make it updated. Always. This is a very generic thing in the university level, because you get the formats. You don't write the format from the scratch, right? You definitely get the format from some other departments or some other friends and colleagues, so their own data will be there. You should supposed to keep on modifying for your particular subject. So now we can see that the course objective, this object-oriented programming using Java, is the subject. So for this particular course, what are the objectives we have? So these are the objectives you have written. You have to think over here. You have to get the permission from the HOD or the program coordinator, and then you should supposed to fix it. Then we have the course outcomes. So course outcomes are very critical, and you should supposed to write your own thinking several times and get approval from the BOS team. Board of Studies should supposed to approve your course outcomes. Sorry, any other body should supposed to be there. We'll check it out and finalize this thing. Okay. So at the end of the course, the students will able to learn what are the things. Those are the course. Course here means subject. Okay. In NBA terms, we use course as subject, program as department. So this thing are interchangeably can be used in our local language. I mean, in our old and traditional language, we use department, right? So it is not a department; it's a program which is provided by the department. One department can program more than one programs. It's possible. So here NBA will accredit your program, not your department. Your program is up to the level or up to the standard. It is providing outcome based education or not. That will be guaranteed by the NBA. That will be certified by the NBA. So for that, each program will be having many courses from first year to final year. So each course that is the is I mean each program will be having multiple courses. Yes, this course means subjects. Okay, so this course, each and every course should supposed to have some outcome. That is, after learning this particular course or subject, what will be learned by the student. So these are the outcome. So in this outcome, you should supposed to use these are the action verbs like discussion, illustrate, use, demonstrate, illustrate. These are what? These are the particular action verbs which are used by NBA. NBA has followed for this particular action verb selection from the Bloom's taxonomy, and Bloom's taxonomy has you know two different phases. One is the older one, another is the newer one. We'll follow the newer one over here. So Bloom's taxonomy is something which will be having. Let me just show you. If it is there at the bottom, it should supposed to be there. Yeah. So this is the Bloom's taxonomy. See here, there are multiple levels of learning from 1 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the different levels of learning. Let me just brief it. The first level of learning is remembering. Yes, remembering in the sense that it guarantees that is the student recall or remember the information that has been taught in the class. Yes. Now to frame a question, I mean, to judge the student that they have really learned or not, you should supposed to have, a particular questioning, right? Through assignments or through IA or through MCQ exams or by different other way of evaluation, right? So while questioning, we should supposed to use these action verbs. Define. You might have seen many questions with define. Okay, so define object-oriented programming. So that's the remembering, that you're remembering that particular concept or not. Similarly, we have duplicate, find, list, label, match, memorize, and name, omit, recall, repeat, straight, spell, tell, all these things. The next level of understanding is, the next level of learning as per the Bloom's taxonomy is understanding. As you can see, it's revised. Okay, so it's a newer version. This is not the older taxonomy; it's the newer taxonomy, and so newer table it is. So okay, let's come to the topic. So next level of study, level of education and study outcome is understanding. What is understanding? It tells that can the student explain ideas and concepts. So you are last time you defined or memorized something. Now can you explain that? So for judging that a student can properly understand or not, we can frame questions in assignments or IA based on the classify, describe, discuss, and all other action verbs over here. Like explain, we frequently use this thing: describe and explain. Correct? Identify, outline, summarize. These are the select. These are the openly used, widely used action verbs which you use for judging a particular student has understand the concept or not. The next level of learning. The next level of learning is applying. Now, whatever you remember and understand, can you apply that? Yes. So, can the student use information in a new way? So, I'll give you something. Suppose I teach you to a particular thing. Suppose a particular concept in Java I teach you. Now, can you implement that? Can you write a program using that? So that's an apply level. So to judge a student that they can apply the concept or not, we use this action verbs in the questions and assignments. Choose, demonstrate, dramatize, employ, illustrate, interpret, schedule, and sketch or solve or use, all these things. Generally, widely used what? Demonstrate or employ. These are the widely used action verbs which you might have seen many times. So these questions will judge that your applicability, how much you can apply a concept. Next, so usually 90% of the question you might have seen that it comes from these three categories: remember, understand, and apply. So these are the basic levels. The advanced levels are 4, 5, and 6. So fourth level of learning is analyzing. So what do you analyze? Can the student distinguish between different parts of a concept? So two Java concepts are there. It's maybe very much interrelated, like abstract classes and interfaces. So I'll give you a particular applicable program. Based on that, you have to differentiate between these two. So that will be analyze. Yes. So you're applying and then judging the difference between different concepts, different parts. To see that a particular student can be analyzing a particular concept or not, you use these action words in the questions. This contrast, compare, criticize, differentiate, discriminate, distinguish, examine, experiment, operate, question, simplify, test, etc. Generally, we use the test, this test action verb, examine action verb, experiment action verb, and then we use the compare. Okay, keep one thing in mind: this compare and contrast can be used for understanding level also. By framing the question based on the framer of the question, it will be depending on how they are framing the question. Otherwise, you can just tell that compare and contrast between abstract classes and interfaces. That will be understanding level question. That will not be analyze level of question. You have to frame the question in such a way that it switches to the analyze level. Okay? The next level of learning is evaluating. Evaluation means justifying. Okay, a particular thing is given to you. Can you justify something from that? Evaluating student performance. Among different student performance, we are evaluating you using different types of IA and different type of MCQs and different types of uh, uh, assignments and all, right? So that's the evaluation among the different students, and you are grading the students in different ways. So that's the evaluation, right? So in the subject, in any particular subject, to justify the student's stand on a particular topic or particular concept, we use these action verbs in the questions. Just like appraise, agree, assess. We generally use assess in a lot, and then argue, conclude, decide, defend, judge. We use judge also in a lot. Prioritize, then prove, then rate, recommend, select, support, value, all these things. We use value also very. But keep this thing in mind: evaluating questions are very rare. Okay, it's not very easy to evaluate each and everything. So you need a very specific topic uh, uh, from a particular syllabus to go through questioning up to the level of evaluating. Next, we have the last, then the highest level of learning is creating. That is, whatever the knowledge you have, not only you are analyzing or applying, even not you are evaluating among the particular stand and particular features. Rather, you are creating your own product. Yes, suppose you are learning Java and creating your own product using a particular a Java project. Yes, and that should be completely new. The creativity should be there for creating for this question. Otherwise, you can write down one program on adding two numbers. Yes, and that will be creating. No, that will be in the applying level only, level 3 only. If you want to make it into the level 6, you should supposed to be very novel in its way. Yes. So how to do that? We can do it by using projects very easily actually. By giving the student projects, the flip classroom projects, or by dividing the students into different groups and making certain projects, we can use that creating very easily. What are the action verbs for creating? Like these are the action verbs we have: assemble, construct, create, change, combine, compose, design, develop, formulate, invent, modify, organize, propose, theorize, and write. These are the action verbs we use generally. Yes. So most widely used action verbs here in this category might be write, assemble, combine, design, develop, formulate, etc. Generally we use the design and develop very frequently for different projects. Suppose for the mini projects to judge their creating capacity, to see that how much advanced you have learned in a particular subject. Yes. So this Bloom's taxonomy should be divided over here. I mean, based on the subject, it differs from the subject to subject. Each and every subject you cannot frame a question up to the level of up to the level of creating level or analyze level. There's level 4, level 5, level 6 is very difficult for each and every subject. Suppose for the very basic theoretical subjects is very difficult to figure. It's almost impossible to figure up to the level of 5 or 6. So here we have to frame 6 course. Okay, now we are coming back to the topic. I just explained the Bloom taxonomy and the briefed it, and we'll come back to the COs. So we have the 6 CO for each subject. For each course, we have the 6 COs, and we write down by using those action verbs. Start should supposed to start with these action verbs. Okay. So this is the first CO, discussion on the object-oriented programming concepts. This is understanding level 2. There is understanding. That is the level is 2. Bloom's level 2. Next is the illustrate the reusability concept of inheritance through programming. So if we are doing something applicability over here, so we're giving apply. Just see here that all others are apply only. Here we are making it level 6. How we are making level 6? By using a project for real-time project through presentations. So we are making it what? By using the creating time. Now the next thing is the CO-PO mapping. We have to make the, for each CO we have to map to the POs. See, and POs also. So what are the POs? These are the POs. I have seen already that it is provided by whom? Provided by the NBA only, based on the Washington Accord. So does it matching with these concepts or not? You have to go through one by one and you have to match it. So CO1 is discussion on the object-oriented programming concept. I'm just explaining a single thing. For CO1, this discussion on the object-oriented programming concepts. So how much it is matching with the first PO? The first PO is what? Apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and engineering specialization to the solution to complex engineering problems. So it may match up to the level of 2. So if you give it 3, there are 3 options for this value. 3 for very highly mapping, 2 for intermediately mapping, okay, moderately mapping, and 1 for very loosely mapping. And you can give 0 also, that is not at all mapping. So this CO statement is mapping moderately with the program outcome 1, moderately with the program outcome 2, very strongly with program outcome 3, not at all mapping with program outcome 4, highly mapping with the program outcome 3. Program outcome 3 is the skill. See this? That is the resource. It is the tool based learning actually. What is that? Yeah. Create, select, apply appropriate techniques, resource, and modern engineering and IT tools. See, this is the tool based learning. So can we use the first one? Is that this is the first CO can be done with the tool based learning. This basic concept can be understood by using the tool based learning. So you are giving it here 3. Yes, others are not matching. PO11 is matching a bit moderately. PO11 is demonstrate knowledge and understanding of engineering and management principles and apply these to one's own work, and as a member and leader in a team to manage projects and in multidisciplinary environment. So discussion on object-oriented programming concepts can be used in different, you know, uh, project-based learning over there. So we are giving you two. Keep this thing in mind. These are highly changeable and highly arguable. If you give to 10 different faculty members who have taken Java in 10 different institutes, they might have designed this CO and PO. If provided the same COs, they might design the COPO mapping completely different. That's possible. So for that, we require a comprehensive discussion by different meetings, and then we are supposed to finalize this COPO mapping. This is not a finalized one, just this for show you. Okay, that's how it maps actually. Now we are mapping these COs to different PSOs. PSOs are program specific outcome. Yes, so your program, like our program is artificial intelligence. So how artificial intelligence is defined there, outcome. That is, after doing BTech in artificial intelligence, what are the outcomes you'll get? Only two statements will be there: PSO1 and PSO2. PSO1 is apply the knowledge of building the artificial intelligence basic and advanced learning techniques, reasoning and interface, interference, or reference to knowledge-based natural language processing tools, software engineering principles. This is one, and next one is this. So how the each and every CO is mapping with all this PSOs that is being explained over here, and the total value is calculated over here at the bottom. Yes, now we just copy paste over here the course content. There is the syllabus. This is the syllabus. This is the syllabus of the module 1. This is the syllabus of the module 2. The syllabus of the module 3. Then we have the syllabus of module 3, module 4, and module 5. This is the contact hours. That is for 9 hours is required to complete module 5. 9 hours for each and every in this particular syllabus. The syllabus will vary from subject to subject, university to university, and course to course. In this particular course and department and the university, we have 9 hours for each and every modules, and there are total 5 modules for learning a particular subject. Okay. Now we have to plan session wise plan. That is for each module, for each session means the contact hour in the class in general term. Which topic you are planning to complete. For that, which particular book you are going to refer, and which online tool, online particular, you know, websites or tool you are going to use, that you are specifying over here. Yes, and pedagogy means how you're teaching it, by how, what are the activity you are planning for making it learned by the student, and which particular CO it is mapping. Yes, and what is the mode of delivery. You'll use the PPT, and you might have Zoom as an online session, or Google Meet, or you might have chalk and talk this offline class method. So these are all coming to the mode of delivery. Okay. Yes, so for each and every topic we have defined in this way. Check it out. Just give a look over here. Yes, now this particular topic will be having by using discussion and implementing usability in different ways. We'll show it, but we'll teach by using PPTs. Yes, so we can have different ways of making it. Okay, as it's not like all the things will be same. You can define as you like. Yes, but you have to get the discussion with the peers, those who have taught the subject before with them. Now, how you assess the students after teaching, you are providing over here. So continuous assignment, that is the internal assessment, will be of 30 marks. And how the university examination will be there, there is university based evaluation will be there, that is out of 70. So 30 plus 70, total marks for the subject is 100. Yes, the internal assessment will be there. 3 will take 3 internal assessment. How much percentage of the marks will go? 20% of the marks will go. MCQ, how much will go? It will go 5 marks. Okay, how much assignment will go? It may go to 5 marks. It may change, okay, from different courses and different semesters. It depends upon the programs and the university. Generally it depends upon the university level, because for all programs generally follow the same way of evaluation for a particular semester. For example, here we can make the assignment 10 marks, MCQ for 5 marks, and we can make internal assessment for 15 marks. That was possible. In this way also we can see that 30 marks will be there for internal assessment. So this is still valid by using this method also. Yes, semester end examination, semester end examination will be evaluated by 70 marks, and we'll be having this particular thing over here. So internal assessment, the first internal assessment to third internal assessment, all COs are covered. MCQs, for 3 different MCQs, we may conduct the MCQs with the internal assessment also over here, and all MCQs may be covered. Yes, similarly in assignment also, maybe all of the COs may be covered, or it may not be covered. It depends from the syllabus to syllabus. Suppose this Assignment is just covering a particular CO6 in this particular subject. Assignment is covering what? CO6 only. And suppose CO6 is not covered by the IA, that's also possible, or by the MCQ, that's also possible. So what I have made now, the change in front of you, CO 1 to 5 is covered by the internal assessment and MCQs. Okay. Yes, CO6 is only done by the assignment. That is what the CO6? It's project based learning, right? You can give it as a mini project as an assignment. That's also possible. See here, the CO is what? Illustrate. CO6 is illustrate the application of Java Swings and multi-threading for real-time projects through presentations. So that you can make it over here as a assignment. See it here. Okay. What is that? Let me go down. Yeah. So see this will be given by the assignment. We are not going to give we're not going to ask any question on CO6 using internals or MCQs. We'll just ask by using assignments of mini projects. That's also possible. Yes, in this way we have defined this particular subjects, TLEP, teaching learning evaluation plan. And in this TLEP, teaching learning evaluation plan, the syllabus is also covered, right? So it covers the CF 3.1. Yes, it covered what? CF 3.1. So let me open that. Yes, CF 3.1. Now we'll see that CF 3.2. It is for the lab. If the theory subject has lab, then only we can go through with that. Java, we have lab also. Yes, yes, 302, same subject with the L. So this is only the course code difference. Remaining each and everything you can understand. See this here, 100 marks for the CA. There is no university exam will be there. Yes, we have just CA, continuous assessment of the lab. Okay, for each lab programs you will be having the assessment. How? 10 marks. Aggregate pass marks is 40%. Okay. Now the subject name, the teacher name may be differ from the subject to subject. So we also put the same thing over here, POs and PSOs, and we'll be having different COs for the lab. Yes, for the theory we might go to the CO or to the Bloom's level 1 or 2, but in the lab is always better that you use with the higher COs. Yes, higher Bloom's level questions. Better to put all into the applicability only. From the apply level you can start, because in lab you practice everything. So from apply level only you can start. Okay. Now you have to make a separate COPO mapping for labs for each and every different COs, because the COs are different in labs. You have to make different COPO mapping, that you have to do it your own. Well, so these are the things we have. Now the list of experiments should be supposed to be provided. This is the list of the experiments we have given to the students. It's 12 experiments they have to go through. Okay. Yes, and how these labs will be conducted, the way we conducted and defined the session wise planning for the theoretical portions, we go through with the lab wise portions also over here. So that's what we are doing here. Yes, after that similarly we are providing this, that all COs will be covered by continuous assignment, that will be having 70 marks, and semester end test will be having 30 marks. So total marks is 100. So here it is 70 and 30. So in the top that information should be there, that was not there. 70 30 should be there. Yes, it should be 70 and 30. Yeah, so that is done now. Now we'll see about the certificate. There should be a certificate page, CF04. See, this is a certificate. Who has taken this subject, who has prepared this one, and who has approved this particular course file. Those details. It's very simple thing. CF05, the course coordinators list. That is in the department, not only in this particular, in the entire program. In the program, the artificial intelligence, who have taken which particular subject and who was the course coordinator for each course. One coordinator will be there. Suppose Java is taken by 5 different departments. Okay, but there should be a single course coordinator who will maintain the things, and who will take meetings and each and everything to finalize CO and PO and each and everything under the head and under the judgment of course coordinator, along with the opinions of the other subject teachers. It will be finalized. Yes. CF05 is there. Now we see with that the next one, the circular and minutes of meeting. Yes, circulars and minutes of course pointer meeting. As I told that the course pointer will be having meeting with the others just to finalize this all these things like COs and COPO mapping, IA to verify that the IA question paper is properly matched or not, the assignments are properly matched or not. Each and everything can be done through the different meetings. So for that we require to keep the document of circular and minutes, that will be in CF6 and CF7. In CF6 we can see that these are the particular faculty members who has attended this meeting on this particular date. Yes, and these are details for that, and these are the agendas which has been performed. Action plans is for continuous improvement action plan has been discussed and finalized, maybe, or identification of tools and methodology for learning process discussed, identification discussion of missing topics and all this thing, discussion on the course delivery and all this thing, the CO attainment target level, each and everything has been discussed. This is the CF06. The CF07 is minutes of the meeting. Here we'll see that in organized way what are the things as discussed between us. You can just pause over here, and if you want to read you can read. I just not want to discuss all these things because it differs from the faculty to faculty, meeting to meeting, and department to department, course to course, and course to course, and definitely program to program also. Okay, so these things are there. Now faculty individual timetable. To complete the course, what are the timetable the faculty has followed? So that faculty has got this timetable, and these are the different subjects they have taught. That details we have over here. Next thing is that CO target set, COPO mapping and target set, how they have done. So CF09 we have for that. CF, what is that here? Course outcome target set. Like you have to always set the target, that how much attainment you want to do at the end of the semester. COPO mapping and target set. So this thing should be there. Here the COs which has been explained before, it will relate to which POs you have to solve. It relate to these are the POs. Yes, should supposed to relate to this. See this 4, 1 to 3 is there, 4 is not there because it is not mapped with the 4, any one of the COs. So COPO mapping, this particular format you have to fill. Along with that, along with that you have to tell that what are the targets that we have. So course outcome target, that is from, suppose 100 students are there in your class, so 60% of the students should achieve 60% above in CO, then the target set is 3. If 50% students achieve, then the target will be 2, and 40% students achieve, means the target will be 60%. See this? Are you clear? Slowly you can, if you are taking the same subject more than once, you can make the CO target higher. So you can make it, for example, you can make it 80% of the students should achieve more than 60%. Or here you can make 70% of the students should have. Yes, or here you can make that 60% students should have achieved more than 60%. Up to you. Yes, how you are setting this. Now CF10 is the lesson plan. So in this lesson plan, all the module wise we provide all the topics for you. Okay, but the important thing over here is that the tentative date of completion. Based on this timetable, we have seen the timetable, na? Individual timetable in CF08. Based on the timetable, you have to plan that, and you have to see that what are the holidays are there, government holidays or the university holidays are there, and what are the time from the calendar of the events. You have to see that in during what are the time there is IE examination or sports of the university or the program offered, or some other workshop or some other industrial visit, and all these things has been planned. So on those days you should not supposed to plan any of the classes. So on the free days when the academics can be continued, you should supposed to put the tentative date of completion of the class, and based on the academic calendar you should supposed to put that. Now you have to keep on adding actual date of completion, because sometimes new holiday may come. Suppose a particular Hollywood or Bollywood star has died on a certain day, so next day is the holiday, so you can't take class on this particular day. Okay, so 7/8/2021 there was a class. Okay, but before that only one day as this faculty has taken the class, because there may be a reason that one faculty has not come on that day, so his class is going to be free. So simply to not engage the class may have a negative impact on the academics, because students will go out of the class and go to somewhere else, and the next class they will not join maybe. So for that you have taken the class on that day. So now this thing has been changed. So on 7th the faculty has come, might be, and taken your class. So you have not taken the class on 7/8/2021. So 9th you have taken the class as planned. 11th you have taken the class as planned. In 14th also you have not taken the class, because you have taken the class one day prior. Yes, in this way you have to see that what are the date of completion is there, and what are the teaching learning method you have used actually. So you might have planned something, and sometimes you might think that the students are not able to take that particular thing. You might have changed the technique of teaching. So you have to specify what are the teaching techniques you are specifying over here, and you can change later also in case the teaching method has been changed. Now, content beyond the syllabus. You have to see that what are the contents are beyond the syllabus. Maybe those content should be taught, but it has not been taught due to some particular reasons. It's possible. It's possible that that particular thing has not been taught due to some, or you might feel that the syllabus was incomplete. It should supposed to have this particular concept. It was not there. So for the betterment of the student, you should supposed to use this particular concept over here. Like I find that AWT is not in the syllabus. I put AWT over here. How many number of classes required? 5. What are the tentative date of connection? And in this particular duration of the class, I have taken the class. I use the PPT and I explain this particular topic. Okay. So in this way, you have to make it, explain the content beyond the syllabus. Similarly, we can have the seminar topics. We can have, if you feel like that the few seminar topic will help the students learning this subject more properly, then you can use the seminar topic, and you can write down over here. And if you find that some of the topics are missed, and then you should supposed to have a action and a plan of action to cover those topics. Yes, so I have not missed any of the topic. So the missing topics are given as assignment for the students. Yes. So the missing topics means, suppose the some topics just teaching will not be fruitful, or that cannot be taken as a seminar topic. Rather, they should supposed to implement. The students must implement and learn it. So you can put it inside here in this particular region. Missing topics and given as assignment. This particular thing you can put. So you have given as an assignment you are writing over here. So the reference book which you have told students to follow, and the textbook you told the students to follow, and then how this each and every COs are related to each and every particular topic, and they are mapping, you are putting it again over here. You have put it before, means you no need to put it again, but okay, in this particular document you have not put on the top. You have put the CO and PO after this document. So in this way you have made the CF8, that is sorry, CF10, that is the lesson plan. Now CF11 is very simple, student list. So what are the students who are there? So they are the students we have. 68 students are there in this particular class. We have written that contact number and email address. If you get, it's better to provide over there. Now we have the attendance register. After taking the class, how you got the attendance register? So the attendance register, it comes, it comes by in offline. You write down over the using your hand, and you write in a particular attendance register, right? But these are the online classes. So as it was the online class, so we have make it in this way. We have taken it in this particular way. Okay, we have write it down that in these are the time, these are the dates where the class has been taken, and these are the way of taking the class, and these are the students how they have attended the classes. All 60 students are present here. Okay, this is for the theory and this is for the lab. For lab I have taken how many classes? 30 classes is written over here. And for theory, how much classes has been taken? Has been taken, I have taken, how much this faculty has taken 45 years. Okay, so this is the attendance register in case of online. In case of offline, you have to use that handwritten attendance register, taking the attendance from the classes in each and every day. Well, so now we have to write down in the next CF 012 and CF 12B and CF 13 and 14, CF 14, 15 and 16 are repeated process for each and every assignment. See, the same thing has been repeated over here for the IA1, IA2 and IA3. So here in this particular case there is no IA3. We took only two IA1 and IA2. So these things will be repeated twice. CF 12A, 12B, 13, 14, 15, 16. So what is CF 12A? 12A is the question paper scrutiny. After writing the question paper, you give for the scrutiny to your subject teacher, sorry, to your course coordinator or to your HOD or to someone else, some board of studies. They will check that the question paper is up to the level or not. This is matching all of the COs and Bloom taxonomy or not. So they'll scrutiny, they'll check your question paper, how the question paper is actually made. Okay, so 12A tells that 12A tells that how the question paper was made before. So they might have told you to change something. See here, we have written here program, but he told you to write down write. Don't write down the program over here. We have written design. Then the scrutiny team has told to write down create. So you have mark it by cross. The verify, you wrote no verify. Write down analyze there. Don't write elaborate. Write down implement here. So they have told some changes to do that you are keeping as a record. That scrutiny has been done for the internal assessment question paper. And then what is the final copy? So this is the final copy. Yes, this is the final copy. That is how this particular question paper has been come out after scrutiny. So for that we have CF12B. Okay. Is it so? Is it 12B? No, this is the 12B. Yeah. So see here there is no cross mark. Okay, it's a finalized question paper. Okay. How the question paper is? Okay, I'll just show me the question paper also. See, for each question, here we have MCQ. For one question number one, 10 MCQs are there. Then we have the detailed question paper description. Okay, so 2A is having how many marks? 5 marks. What are the COs is matching? CO1. What is the level? There is a Bloom's level, level 1. This question is mapping based on the Bloom's level 1. This question is based on the Bloom's level L3. Okay, is matching CO1 only. Yes, in this way we can see that 3 is mapping with the CO1 and level is 1. This is for the CO1 and level 3, and all these things are there. For each and every questions we see that how it's provided, and then we have provided the CO and PO mapping over there also for after each and every question paper. So well, so in this way question paper I mean the CF12A B is provided. CF13 is the scheme and solution. That is for each and every question paper how the solution will come out. I'll see the CF13, yeah, test one. This is the solution. This should be the correct answer. Okay, first should be the correct answer. I make it in the bold. Okay, the 23 should be the correct answer. Boolean should be the correct answer in all these things. Yes, yes, are clear? So in this way, we can see that the entire thing has been provided over here in this way. So CF110, what this should be the proper output for 9 question 9A. This should be for the 9B the right answers, and all these things are provided here. That's the scheme and solution should be provided over here. Then we have the internal assessment 1 analysis. That after the each internal we analyze that how students has performed. So CF15 for test 1. I'm just showing for the test 1. Okay, the same thing is repeated for test 2 also. So we'll see that CF, okay, in CF 14 we'll see that analysis, that is sorry, this CF15, this CF15, CF14, let me check the CF14. Yeah, this is the CF14. We'll see that how the students has achieved the different marks. Okay, how the students, so in IA1 for each question how they have achieved the marks. So suppose this student is Anusha, so how they have got marks? See this, she has written all the MCQs correctly. Yes, none of the MCQs she has done any mistake. She has written very well. She has gone very good marks for each and every questions. See this, for 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 4A, 4A, 5A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A, 8B, 9A, and all these things. Yes, she has written very correctly, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So she got out of MCQ out of 10, 10 marks. Out of descriptive out of 90 she got 79 marks. Total marks is 89. So this is known as the description of. Similarly, all of the students has been taken into the consideration. Yes, all of the students has been taken into consideration. See this, see how they have given the marks. Yes, so in this way they have got the details of their marks we have provided over here. After that, open the checklist here. Okay, so you understood this, right? We have seen this. Now identification of slow learners, we can see that how we have to find out that those who have not performed well in IA1, so we have to identify them as a slow learner. Yes, we have to find the weak student. Yep, and you have to plan for them that how they should be taught in a certain way so that their marks can be getting in a good way. Yes, they can get a good marks. So for that we have CF15. So as you can see that none of the students got less than 50 in my subject in Java. So they got more than 50. So it is nil. It is what? Nil. As simple as that. Yes, no one has got poor performance. Otherwise you have to write down the names and the USN number and how much marks they have got in different parts. Total marks is less, why the total marks is less, and the activity details you have to write down in this way. Yes, these are the activity details they have taken for those subjects where the marks is very less. So I'll delete this because in my subject there is no poor learner. Then you have to write down the date and their justification. I mean, you have taken extra tutorial class, remedial class, you have called the students in a particular time and date and taught them a particular topic and told them to write down the particular topic, and all these things you have to write here. Okay, there's a CF15. CF16 is what? It's a It is to take that the students since special class workshops and tutorials, special class workshop and tutorials details we should provide. Yes. So here we have given tutorial class conducted and made to the student solve 6 assignment given. So, okay, it might be anything. Okay, to solve the detailed. Suppose you can write down not specific, right? Then you can write down detailed assignment given. Detailed assignment given. Justification. Suppose you can write down anything, right? You can write. Okay, in our particular subject, we have not given them any IA question on CO6, right? CO course outcome 6 specific assignment is given so that students can design and create new Java project based on that project. Okay, fine. Yes, so that's the justification. Okay, I have given the assignment to you by using what this particular strategy. The number of workshop or guest lecture conducted, we have the details over here. Then number of remedial classes handled, all the same details you have to keep over here. So all details that we are having over here. Are you clear? Yes, so these details are there. So that is fulfilling what? That is fulfilling the CF16. So similarly, we will be repeating all these things till each and every IA. Yes, so it is same. It will be repeating 3 times up to this. Now we have the new things are from 17, from 18, from 19. From 17 was final internal marks analysis with the bell curve. Final CO attainment calculation for IA is from 18, and from 19 was question bank for all 18. We'll see this now. So from 17 we'll see. As you can see that form 17 is having all the details all together. See OAT1, see this how it is there for first internal, how much they got out of 90 and how much they got in MCQs. For OAT2, how much they have got in 90 and how much they have got in MCQ. And in assignment, out of 30 they have given the assignment and how they have given the the result, and how as per that how they have got the marks. See here. See here, this student Prakhar Gupta got 10 out of 10. This student Anusha got 10 out of 10 in assignment. This student Bhavana has got just 6 marks. Okay. Yes. So this student Akshay got 8 marks. So you can see that how they have got the marks into the assignment. Yes, these are part marks for the assignment. Out of 30 they have given and they've got marks out of 30, and that has been converted to 10 marks. And then the final IA. So how they got final IA, internal assessment marks. See here, OET marks are there. OET1, that is IA 1 marks, IA 2 marks out of 90. This is converted to 7.5 because total marks how much? We have 15 marks for internal. So 7.5, 7.5, 15 marks for the internal. 7.5 IA 1, 7.5 IA 2. Total how much marks they got? 15 marks they got. Now OAT1 MCQ how much? 10 marks. OAT2 MCQ how much? 10 marks. So 10 in OAT1 they got some marks and OAT2 they got some marks. That has been converted to out of 5 marks because our IA assignment is how is our IA assignment is very important to note actually. IA assignment is how much in this for this particular session it is 15 marks for IA. So how this 15 marks for IA will be divided? That is the first test. So how it will be divided? 7.5. 7.5 multiplied by 2. MCQ how much? MCQ marks is 5 marks. So whatever the MCQ have taken should be converted to 5 marks. And how much for assignment? For assignment we have how much marks? 10 marks. Yes, so to fulfill this particular thing we are making all these things here. Now assignment is out of 10 marks. Now total marks is how much? Total marks should be, see these formulas are there provided over here. The sum of OAT1, OAT2, MCQ and assignment. So they got the total marks over here. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now this mark has been provided to the ceiling. You can make it the round off also. See there we have used the ceiling function. You can see that how the formulas we have used, and they got the marks finally. Then we got the formula for normal distribution find. So we found the normal distribution, and based on that this normal distribution, this graph is designed. Okay. Yes. So that is how we make the Which one? We are discussing about the Form 17. So Form 17 is done. This one. Now we'll see with the Form 18. Final CO attainment calculation for IA. Final CO attainment calculation for IA. See this? Now it's a final CO. So Form 18 is very important. But for Form 8, for Form 18, you can see here Form 18 is not there. Sorry, sorry. No, I'm just confused with this Form 20. Form 18 can be done right now because in Form 18 is very simple. You have to see that the how much they have obtained the so Form 18 has two parts. I'll just have to show the first part. Yeah. Otherwise, this part cannot be understood. So we have seen that here how they have got the part marks in each CO, how much marks they have got. We have for that we have gone through some formula. See, you have seen that in how much COs they got some marks. Total CO 1 marks is 65 plus 15 for CO2 for 20 for CO3 for IA1 for test 1. So total is 100 marks. Correct. So how the students has performed in different COs. Yes, that's being given. Now we are making it out of 100, right? COs out of 100 we are making. See this? Out of 100 we are making the COs, and then you are putting that how much percentage of the CO marks they have attained. For IA1, IA2, and for MCQ we are just getting the total MCQ. That's it. There is no just you are make the because all are the single CO only, na CO6 only. So we are not making it anything. We are putting it over here in the CO6. See this? How you are getting it? Here you have to give a closed loop in CO1 out of 65. How we are getting from IA1 Z14 we are getting. So IA1 Z14. This is the IO1 Z14. Correct. See, this is the Z14. This is the Z shell. Sorry, this cell is Z and it is 14th row. So 65. So here we are coming with the 65. Then we have 15. Then 177 for CO3, CO4 13, CO5 10, and CO6 10. Yes, as you can see that the CO3 is mostly attained in this particular subject. Yes, and we see that how much the student with USN 1 2 3 4, how much, sorry, serial number till 68, right? Yes, how much they have got, for each CO, how much percentage also they got for each CO we have written, and then we have make this attainment calculation. See this, if you use this formula you can see that what you have done over here, not counting students those are not contributing to the CO. So all students have attained all the COs. Yes, class strength is 68. So counting students contributed to CO only. Yes, so all students has contributed to all of the COs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all are same over here. Then number of students scoring 60% of CO, more than 60% of CO. All have got more than 60% of CO. Here in CO 6, only 66 students has got, 2 has not got. See this, by using this formula you are checking it out. That's the use of Excel over here. If you use Excel you can get these benefits. So all the things has been done by using a certain formula. If you just go through the formula, then you can understand more clearly how these things has been calculated. And these formulas are very simple. You can understand this. I88 minus I87. It tells that this is the I88. This is the cell I. So it is 88. This is 68, and I87 means the value 0. 68 minus 0. That should be what? 68 only. So here also you can see how you are calculating this. That is count if this function you are using Excel function, then h13 to h80. So h13 to h80 is what? This is the h13, this is the 13, row 13. H is the column, 13 is the row. 13 to how much? To 80. See this? Means all this value you are going through. What you are going through? Why you are going through? Let me check. Count if h13 to 80 is greater than 60 or not. So these values are all greater than 60, right? See, these values are all greater than 60. These values are all greater than 60, correct? See, these values are all greater than 60. So it will be 100% here, correct? Now all 68 values are having more than greater than 60. Yes, yes. So we are getting it how much? 3. Got it? If you make it more than 80, then also you can see the difference here. In the same way, you can change and you can make your attainment level higher and all these things. The direct CO attainment, how much you got? You got 3 for all. So this is your final direct CO attainment level. So now you have the indirect CO attainment level by using the feedback from the students. Those things you can do when the particular subject is over now. So this subject is not over. I've just done taken this subject. If external is not done, its external marks has not yet come. So when the external marks will come, that time we'll go through with the next checklist. What is that? That is the checklist number 20. See this. Final COP attainment can be calculated after semester end results are announced. In the next video, probably I'll be going through with a particular class which will be having, semester end examination has been out, and I'll just calculate and show it to you. And then we'll be going through the certificate impact analysis and result analysis. This three can be done after the external exam result has come. After that only. So before that, whenever you completed the subject and your students have appeared for external exams, but the exam result has not yet come, you should supposed to be ready up to this level. So this is an example for this particular subject. Okay, so here you are writing the CO attainment level, how much they have attained, the students COs and output and all these things. So 80% of the students scoring more than 3% or 70% or 60%, whatever it is, you should supposed to provide that. Here it is 60%. It is not, no, 80%. Yes, as you have done the calculation. So this is the result we have. Now we have put the CO and POs over here. You see, so form 18 has two parts, as you have seen. Now form 19 is very simple, just the question bank which you have done for the students. You have to write down in a particular way. This is the unit wise, this is the module. The first module's questions, then the second module question, then third module question, and so on. It should be gone through. Yes, as simple as that. It's very simple. You have to make the question bank also as part of it. So in this way, you have done almost till the end of the course file after taking the class. Before the student has appeared for the external and got the result, you should supposed to be ready up to this level. After students get the final result, then you should supposed to complete the next three forms also, from 20, 21 and 22. Thank you very much for watching this. Hope this will